Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. Today we're going to talk about finances, and I got my partner on with me, and that's Brother Loki. We're going to get into finances. Brother Loki, welcome to the show.
What's going on, Brother Black?
You got it, brother. Now, we're going to get into finances because how we do it on Verbal Pick Radio, we don't start off big. We start off at a good pace, and then we keep adding on to it. That way, it's easy for those who are just getting into finance. It's easy to follow along because you can with Cash App, you can start off with a minimal amount of money, $20, $10, and you can become an investor, and you can learn without taking great risk, just getting started. And Brother Loki, have you had any experience with the Cash App and investing?
Yeah, so definitely had profit from using the Cash App. Really easy to use. Right now I can recommend it because I've already cashed out on some things. So, I think that, anything that you get into is always going to be a risk one way or another. But I went ahead and I dumped, a nice amount in there, and it's worked out. So I don't see why it can't work out for anybody else. So with the Cash Out with Bitcoin, I'm mostly invested in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is moving real good right now, even compared to some of the other companies. I'm still in the process of looking through a lot of the altcoins because we've had some of the altcoins for quite a bit of time. So now we're going deeper and back into the research of where they and how they've moved and what's happened with them over the past 3 years. But one thing I can say for sure is that Bitcoin has, been moving great. And in terms of investing, it was actually a very easy thing to invest in this entire time for those who studied the crypto market enough to know that it was going to go back to this high price point. And so, right now, let's say with Bitcoin, what you can do is that those, a betting man, a betting woman right now that has experience in the crypto market knows that this is a great time to be able to turn some kind of profit on your dollar, because more than likely it's going to shoot past its highest price point, which was around 20,000. Right now it's around 16,000, maybe 7 or something like that. Last time I checked, which was like some hours ago. And reason why it's a real good bet right now is because, for one, I put money into it sometimes like 3-4 times in a day, and depending on where it's at. And because right now it's so much confidence in the market, especially for those who've had pain in the game for a good little minute, because we know that what's going on in the world right now with the trust factor being down on the world governments, that the blockchain goes up because it's a new market, it's a disruptor market, and the stock market would be considered old money. It's an older market, and there's when there's high trust in the world governments, then there's high trust in the old markets, because the world governments are old markets. So right now it's a great time with people being so scared and being in so much fear. When they put out the coin shortage and they were telling people to use their debit cards, all that drives anything blockchain technology, anything cryptocurrency, it drives it up. It makes it a great bet in order to turn a profit. And I've been investing on Cash App in particular for over a year now consistently. And once I got a nice sizable amount outside of crypto bringing in money, and I was able to dump it in there, that's when I really started seeing the profit really shoot up real crazy. So you could turn a good profit right now between, let's say it's 16.7 to 20,000. So that percentage in between, which will probably be less than 25%, you're looking at a little bit less than 25% gain right now, probably give or take. If you're to put any dollar into the market, you'll return a little bit less than 25% on your dollar. And that's some of the info I can give on the crypto before we go to the stock market.
All right, excellent. Now, what about for those that's listening and they want to get into investing? We want to talk about risk tolerance, right? First, as Loki stated earlier, of course, there's some risk involved, but you, the individual, has to know what amount you comfortable with investing in the stock market, right? And some people compare it to if you're going to the casino, right? And you hit, say you came in there with $100, you hit for 500, you got 600. Do you walk away from the table, or do you feel like you want to put some more money down and increase that 6 to a G, right? Well, as a word Brother Loki stated earlier, was he studied. Well, in investments, you have to study the markets, and they have these charts, right? And they can go from a week to a month, 6 months, up into a year, right? And so the reason why, let's say we'll take Carnival Cruise Line, for instance, right? Okay, back before the pandemic hit, it's trading $40, $50, right? After the pandemic hit, it dropped all the way to about $7, $8, $9, $10, right? So now, I don't want to say a bet man or a gambling man, but as an investor, I would say, okay, well, Joe Biden, he's coming in the office, and he has a plan on curing the corona, right? And so, just with that plan alone, it gives more confidence to the consumer, or to those who like traveling on cruise ships, right? That's all they need to hear. So the stock is going to go back up, because during when the corona first hit, certain stocks dropped and lost 90% of their value. So so if you buy low, then what it's saying is once a cure, even a projected cure for the corona, if it goes back up to its initial stock price pre-corona, you hit big. It's on, depending on how much you put into it, you're going to see a great return. But you can't be scared to test the water. I just wanted to lay that out there, because this is the time. Now I'm gonna show you what I did with Bitcoin, though, brother Loki.
All right.
I dumped in Bitcoin when it was about 10,000, right?
Yes, sir.
When it hit a low at 13.5, I took my winners and left, and I'm like, God dang, I took out too early.
Got him out of there. I ain't mad at you, shit.
Because the more, because this is the thing, because and then sometimes you gotta listen to sometimes you gotta trust your instincts. This is why I pulled out, because I'm reading articles. They was like, man, if Biden wins the presidency, he wasn't too in favor of Bitcoin, so the prices was gonna drop. So the night before the election, I grabbed my winners, and it was like I felt like Biden would win. I said, well, let me get mine out of here, because once they announce Biden, it's gonna fold, right? Yeah, it continued to grow. So I was like, okay, I missed that opportunity, bro. But as far as strategy,
just one thing on that: that's because people don't trust Biden either. They like, man, that shit's some old made up, European political bullshit they put together to put that motherfucker in there. The real motherfuckers on the streets is like, man, fuck that motherfucker. We don't trust neither one of them motherfuckers. That's just some entertainers talking some bullshit, getting paid off that niggas think motherfuckers really invested in them, man.
Right.
Nah, man, that's some few internet motherfuckers who, it doesn't amass to the masses of what's really going. People are really scared. They really don't have trust in the government like that.
Right? Nah, not at all. They don't. Not at all. Because my next move is I'm waiting on the VND to shoot up that Viet Dong, the Vietnamese currency. I invested in that, and because this, now is it true? Do the Chinese market drives the Bitcoin market?
Well, I mean, So I know of Neo. We're investing in a Neo company, but right now, really, I'm not investing in Chinese companies. So maybe that's the reason why I haven't just looked as deep as I usually would, as I did some years back. They do have some definitely influence on the market, but when I was studying them years back when we first invested in Neo, it seemed like they were trying to put restraints on the cryptocurrency until things it's kind of like putting a lot of regulations down at the beginning, at the onset, so they can peter it in the way that they want to bring it in, where the people, the actual citizens, they have constraints on their access to it. Mm-hmm. And then they know that the way that it's going, they're gonna, and they for sure know now that they can't stop it. So they can only put the regulations on early, so that way they can control it in their country as much as they can. Right. So now, depending on how many Chinese companies, it's definitely a lot of Asian people that own a lot of companies on as far as the cryptocurrency market as a whole. But how much that they move in the market, they have some influence. It's kind of hard for me to say how much. Right. But they in there.
Yeah, I noticed, around the Chinese New Year, every time Bitcoin would go up some.
Okay.
And that was one of my indicators to check it out. That's that was one of my strategies, and you might can get into one of your strategies. Like, one of my strategies was, every summer, right before beginning of the school year, folks buying school clothes and tennis shoes, so I'd invest in, a department store or whatnot who sold mostly back to school supplies or whatever, and the cell phones would go up, you know what I mean? And then I get out, then I wait for the next trendy thing, I jump in, then I get out, right? Do you have any type of strategies on when you would invest, or how long you leave your investment in place before you pull it out?
Definitely. I would say this is the same strategy for both crypto and stocks. Is I look at its peak price point, which is the highest that it's ever sold for, and then I look at the world marketplace as far as what's going on with the people. Right now, I know people are in fear. So let's say on the stock side, I went and I invested in a bunch of companies like airport companies, right. Las Vegas companies, theaters. All these are down. They are down in the market because people were not traveling at the same numbers. They wasn't going to to Vegas as much, and the theater and so on and so. So I'm betting that it's going to on its recovery. So about my get out point is when it hits that peak again, because I'm a rookie in the stock market. I'm not going. Whenever that time comes and it gets back up to that peak point, I don't know how much confidence I have to hold out past its highest peak point. So let's say the highest a share was in a particular company was like $20, and I bought at $13. Once it gets back to 20, I might not hold that long, because based on my knowledge in that particular market and with that company. With Bitcoin, I've studied it so much to where when it passes its $20,000 mark and it hits 21,000 and beyond, I'm gonna have plenty of confidence in it. And I'm going to have already written down or typed up the exact exit point. So the exit point, it may be, it depends on how high it's going to go. And then I'm going to follow its downtrend. And then you also got to factor in, you take out profit based on what's going on with you. Like, I took out some racks just off my profit, and I kept all the money in my Bitcoin that I initially invested, and I just took I skimmed off the top. I just took the profit, and I did it because I wanted to have a certain amount of money liquid in my Cash App just off to the side. I got used to having that because it's convenient. You can send it to people fast, and so I wanted that convenience. So that's why I took out my profit at that particular point.
Yeah, same here, bro. Same here, bro. I like looking over to that left and seeing the amount I got sitting right there.
I know exactly what you're talking about. When that thing got down low, I was like, I don't like that. I don't like this shit at all. Like the nigga out belly. I don't like that.
Yeah, I got to fill it up again. I do the same thing, but my main thing, and one reason why I got heavy into investing is because, you know, at the time during this Corona COVID, you know, prior to COVID, on certificates and CDs were offering 2.25, 3.0, 3.5%, right? Mm-hmm. But then COVID, it's dropping down to 0.06 and and then 0.01 and whatnot, right? And so you're not getting a good rate of return off your CDs and your investments. So stock is it right now because, you know, and you have to be in a position where your money is making money for you. You know, or why you sleep per se, because sometimes I'll check the overnight market and see what it's doing. You know what I mean? Or after market close or whatnot, and I'll look and see. You know, or I would read any latest news pertaining to the stock that I purchased. You know, and I could tell if I'm gonna have me a good day or a bad day. But now let me ask you this. How do you keep from pulling your money out when you start seeing your numbers start to decline when the stock is on the low?
Well, I can definitely speak when you're on the crypto side, is that you keep your money in there based on your understanding of the actual crypto, which is, we could say, is equivalent to a company. So because of what I know about Bitcoin and its history and watching it for so long, and especially I was saying in the past year, 'cause when I first got into it, I was watching it crazy, and then I got lazy, for whatever, or I got distracted. Actually, I started focusing on other things. But then for the past over a year now, I've been watching it consistently. So watching it for so long, I got so much confidence on the uptrend that it's on right now. It's like, I'm not surprised at all. This is what we knew was going to happen. And so I could keep my money in there with confidence, watching the trend of it and knowing that it's going to keep shooting up based on the fact that this is perfect timing for blockchain. Blockchain technology, see, that's another thing. It just isn't about Bitcoin. It's about blockchain as a whole. Right. It's a new approach to the internet. And you see parts of this, you see certain concepts of this in the monetization with YouTube and Facebook, SoundCloud, etc. This is what blockchain does with all their companies. It's an incentive-based approach to the internet and a decentralized approach. So we probably talked about this on other podcasts. I'll put it in short, is that decentralization means that you don't have like a YouTube that's just dominating the market. You got all these companies that have pain in the game, and you could choose. It puts the companies in competition so you can get the best product because they're in competition with each other. And so the decentralized, and then you also have the transparency concept in blockchain, where the more transparent the company, the more valuable the company is for people who may potentially buy into these different cryptocurrencies. Mm-hmm. And it was one last. I don't lose my train. It was one last thing. It just slipped my mind. I was freestyling.
But I want to know where can a person go and get a list of these different blockchain companies, and and follow them and get info on these companies?
They can go to CoinMarketCap. They can download the app, CoinMarketCap, okay, or they can go on their desktop and just find a good app. Look at the ratings, and because they probably got more than one, and it'll tell you the value of all the cryptocurrencies, thousands of them.
Right.
So, they could do that, and they also need to look into ICOs because the market, do it now before this thing goes totally mainstream, because we don't know if this is going to be the time where it goes completely mainstream or if we'll get another chance for it to really trend all the way back down. Because once it goes mainstream, then, I ain't trying to be the bearer of bad news or anything, but you always gonna make the most profit on a company when it's still not mainstream before it turns into Amazon or some shit.
Right.
You want to get in early on it. So the ICOs gives you opportunity while these new companies are coming in and they're trying to introduce somewhat new concepts, that you can still find some good companies that are not scam or pump and dump companies that you could bet on and, do like 1,300 times profit or 8 times profit, but you got to get in now, before it just starts to get totally oversaturated.
Right. Well, now, let me ask you this. A while back, a lot of banks didn't want to get involved in crypto because they were stating that it would hurt the value of the dollar, it would offset the dollar. Do you believe that the dollar and Bitcoin can coexist in the future?
No. No, the dollar's on its way up out of there, man. The dollar, it's had its time. You look at the market, and look at the people and look at the politics, it's, what goes up must come down, and it's inevitable. And it ties directly into the actual corporation itself. Now, I'm not saying, when the corporation, well, I'll say this even better than that, is that let's say the dollar is old technology. And, blockchain is new. The dollar is, as the price of things go up, things are more expensive for us to buy, right, and the value of the dollar goes down, then that hurts its sustainability. Because they've had a constant trend of making things that we purchase more expensive. You can just go to your vending machine and look at how much it used to buy snacks to where now what they're selling for Cokes and snacks. The prices have been consistently going up while the USD has been going down, and countries are more and more, other countries are moving away from using the US dollar for trade. So, I definitely wouldn't bet on the US dollar. I'm not a Forex trader right now, so I'm not the expert on it.
Right.
But, I only keep a portion of my bread in actual US dollars. I actually have more of other things like precious metals, gold, silver, cryptocurrency stocks. I actually have more of that than I actually have paper dollar bills. And that's something that I think that's probably the best way that I can present it, is that's how much trust I have in the US dollar. That it's the lowest in terms of if I'm going to look at it as an investment, which is not, it would be one of the things I have the least of in my investments.
Right. Facts. Yo, that's facts. I definitely want to get more people to learn, especially the younger generation that's coming up, to get involved in the wave of the future. And the reason why I'm saying it is because before we started this program and we were talking, and I was saying, man, what is it that can replace the dope game? That could move people, that could supplement that income to make money, and that can house a lot of people at one time and create the same amount of bread that they used to making in the streets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And crypto.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
You need whole crypto teams and whole crypto. Start your own crypto mining company or whatnot. So there is a way, and crypto it can move just as fast as the game.
Mm-hmm.
Crypto. There you go, right there.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
man.
a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
So they.
And when you said a team, no, my bad, Black.
No, Brian. And you say when I said a team.
Yeah, I had a coworker, and he had like a team of guys that was doing options, which is something I'm gonna learn in the future, and more on day trading. And he was making racks while we was on the grids. He's making racks, So I tell him, fall back, I'll cover your work. And he'll go over there in the corner and make a rack, right there off to the side, like within a very short period of time while making money on the clock. So, and now if you're not on the clock, you're in the streets, I'll tell you, take your money, wash it through the crypto and make a transition out of it, because really low key, you're going to make way more on this than you would shooting dice or, trying to be, shout out to the best gambler in Texas. What's my boy name? Lil Ronnie, G Money, Lil Ronnie, in Fort Worth. The best gambler in Texas, man. Everybody can't be G Money, Lil Ronnie. So, if you ain't that, then hitting dice ain't gonna move you to a luxury apartment in the sky. So this is a great thing to put your money in, but you're gonna have to put some racks into it to really see some real money. That's the thing about it. And I want to add one more thing on the stock side through Cash App. This is what I did and what worked for me, and I think it can work for anybody. I'm going to add on something I picked up later and more recent was Dr. Boyce Watkins' $5 a day investment plan. And he was talking about how, you could become a millionaire off of $5 a day over a certain time period. Now, if you do this and you take it into, and he was also basing this on the stock market. So taking that $5 a day, and what I did was when I first started really investing in stocks through Cash App. So I would find companies. There were certain companies I wasn't going to invest in because I'm not gonna put my money into something, number one, that I know my people have real stain in the game. So when it came to like apparel, shoes and things like that, that's something you go on the internet and buy. We got a good foot in the game when it comes to apparel, shoes, anything that you wear. And we also have a good foot in the game when it comes to food. I can go right down the street and get quality food, made by African people, so I didn't invest in that, and I'm not investing in anything Chinese made right now because of what they did to the Africans over there. So this is, when you get into investing, it's also political for some of us, not saying it gotta be, but you just learn more about yourself when you invest. It ain't just about making money. You learn a lot of things outside of just making money through doing this.
Right.
So, I go in there, I go into Cash App, I find, certain companies that I know that we don't have any real stain in the game, and I invest in them. And I would do like I started out like maybe $5-10 in a company, and I went on there, and by the time I was through, I had invested in 60 companies. And what I found is that you start out with 5, and then the more that you learn about investing in it, you start getting more confidence to invest more. So it went from 5 to 10 to 20 to 40. Next thing you know, I done dropped a rack in a company, and it already turned over a 10% profit on that one particular company. And I just started investing in the stock market. So, and I'm gonna add this one last piece. I can't say it verbatim, but Dr. Boyce always speaks on, there was this test with these monkeys. And basically the monkeys, they randomly pick companies, and based on the way that the stock market has moved over so many years, they were able to turn a significant profit on their dollar just by randomly picking out these particular companies. So I would say go check Dr. Boyce's channel out. You get more information on what to actually invest in, like the S&P and all that. And, if nothing else, if you don't want to do that, just invest in companies that you buy yourself. If you go to Walmart all the time, invest in Walmart,
right.
And it's guaranteed that you're going to turn a profit, but you got to.
Right.
Even if you don't have the money to invest significantly at one time, do it over time. Let it be. That's what I did. I did small investments until I got a big bag, and then I dropped a portion of that bag into the market, and that's when I saw the major profits come through. But I'm saying all this because I want people to get their foot in the pool, because once you get your feet in the pool, you see that you can take that cold and you get used to it, then you'll get more confidence in investing more.
Right. You all in now, yeah. It's like with anything else. Once you get your confidence up, you'll be doing tricks with it, spinning on your head and everything else.
Real though.
You start having visions. You picking up on keywords. You can visualize what's getting ready to take place next and whatnot in the game. So definitely, and it's fun. It's fun because it's life. It's moving life. This is actually chess. It's a game of life, bro. So man, excellent. So those of you that's out there listening, get involved. Because we're at a time to where we got to get creative. And there's ways to be creative and to make money without harming someone. And you'll make more money in the game of investment, than you would out there stalking somebody to hit them over the head and run off with their wallet, or stalking an old lady and snatching that person, taking off running so you can get a Christmas gift or something. Go get it. You can get Santa Claus your money, man. We don't want to get involved in all that. So definitely, Cash App is real easy to invest, and I like the way they have it to where you don't have to. Like Brother Loki stated, you can start off with 5, 10, 15, monitor it, study it, don't panic. When you see your numbers start dwindling, going down, and be like, I better sell before it go down to zero. Now, because it's funny, you've been unsold, and the next day, some news would have came on that said that they just merged with this company, the stock shot up, and you're like, damn, I missed all that money, and you be mad at yourself. So get your strategy. And that $5 investment, some people would say, well, you start off with a blank piece of paper and use that as money, but with that 5 and 10, that's that's pretty much low risk. You can dive right on in,
Yes, sir.
That minimum amount. So yeah,
that's
what's up, man, bro. Look, we really appreciate that, bro, that you sharing your investment knowledge with us, because this is a capitalistic society, and it takes capital and different ways to attain that capital. So we definitely appreciate that. Before we get out of here, you like to add anything, bro?
Oh man, I got another piece for him, man. To this, I say, man. When it comes to this stock market, earlier I was talking about it being an old market. Now, the thing is that I'm still investing in it because it's going to be a little bit of time before we just see a lot of the old companies start getting taken over. That's a concept that is a huge major shift globally in terms of country to country. So I'm not expecting that to happen overnight, and we'll be able to see something like that coming a mile away. So you can invest in the stock market and have confidence that your money is going to continue to grow regardless of what's going on at this particular moment politically. And it is a great way to balance things out against the crypto market. So this is a real key thing. Invest in both markets, both the stock market and the crypto market, because what's going to happen is you're going to invest some money in the crypto, into Bitcoin, and it's going to shoot up, and it's going to be selling at a high point. So it could be selling at, let's say, it's been going back and forth between 16,700 and let's just say 16,100. So when it's at 16,007, you don't want to put money into it when it's at its peak. You want it to downtrend a little bit because it's going to go up and down, up and down. Right. So you always want to catch it when it's on that downtrend. Right. And then when it's up at a high, invest in the stock market using the $5 a day plan. If you've been you done got excited and you bankrolling off of your Bitcoin, and you're like, damn man, it's at a high, I can't buy right now. Boom, go right over to the stock market. It's going to be some companies selling for a low rate. Drop at least $5 in that thing, and boom. It's like it's like hitting the blunt, man. I mean, it's another high, because when once you start cashing out, that's what make it a reality. So I mean, so invest in both markets. And one last thing is that there's some investors out there, some rappers that I listen to. I ain't gonna say no names, because they put out great information, but I feel like they were speaking against the stock market with maybe not being invested in it themselves, perhaps. And they were just leaning so hard on crypto. And I was kind of like that at first too, until I started putting money into the stock market, and I started seeing my profit on that end. And then it really hit home when crypto hit it was at a high price point, and I didn't want to just be sitting on my money. I wanted to invest in something. And then I was like, boom, there go the stock market, we good. So it's a great equalizer for crypto.
Right. Well, that's called diversifying, because you could take a portion of that profit and spend 5, 6, 7 G's and get you some land.
Yes, sir.
Flip that land, and I mean, it's just you diversifying. You moving across the board. I mean, you in the game of life. Like you sent me about the young man who was renting out high-end luxury cars.
Yes, sir, man, Kevo out of Chi-Town.
Right, so it's you got to get its ways, is what we saying. Diversify, make your money. It's so many different avenues and streams that you can tap into, so you can catch you some fish and you can continue to eat. Because we're getting at a point in time to where you're going to have to rely on your mindset and your skills and your knowledge, so you can extract that power. So, get on it. It's time.
Yeah, man, y'all go listen to Bandman Kevo's commentary on investing, and go listen to Money Man's commentary. They put out great information when it comes to investing, and we already know they from the streets, so they speaking the lingo that we can pick up on, so easily. So y'all go check them out.
There you go, right there on that note. Hey, man, we appreciate you, brother Loki. Believe me, bro, because in a capitalistic society, money is very important. Investing is important, and preparing yourself for your future and that long-term investment as well is important for those who getting close to retirement age. You got to get on it, and that goes across the board for male and female.
Yes, sir.
If you're at Verbal Creek Radio, we out.
Yeah.